go to the second pillar of Umrah. And what is that? Can someone tell me? Hello? Are you there? Am I communicating? Please. Tawaf, that's right.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Tawaf. So now Tawaf is the second pillar of Umrah. So we are going to perform Tawaf. This Tawaf is called circumambulating of the Kaaba. Circumambulating the Kaaba, that's going around the Kaaba 7 times. Now this Kaaba, let us have the Kaaba, you can see one here, see it there. Now you can see the Kaaba is rectangular in shape, and it has 4 corners, and the Tawaf must start from the Hajar al-Aswad corner, and this Hajar al-Aswad being shown by the Dr. Salim is showing it now. When we reach Haram, remember, if you are entering the masjid, you are entering with your right foot, and when you enter the masjid, you say Bismillahi Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin, Allahumma ghafurli waftahli abwab rahmatik. In the name of Allah, O Allah, send your prayers upon Muhammad. O Allah, forgive me and open me the doors of your mercy. You are asking Allah for the doors of mercy, because for you even to perform the tawaf correctly is a mercy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is dua for entering masjid. You enter with the right foot and you go direct to Kaaba. There is no tahiyatul masjid. You know, remember that when you enter any masjid, you are not allowed to sit down until you perform 2 rakat, with the exception of the Haram. When you go to Haram, there is no 2 nafila before doing anything. Tawaf is the first thing that you're going to do, because of the saying of the Messenger alayhi salatu wasalam, فَلْيَكُمْ أَوَّلُ أَحَدِكُمْ بِالْبَيْتِ التَّوَافِ وَلْيَكُمْ آخِرَ أَحَدِكُمْ بِالْبَيْتِ التَّوَافِ. Let the first ibadah of one of you in Haram to be Tawaf, and the last ibadah should be Tawaf. So that was when you go, you are starting with Tawaf, and that is why that nafila of Tahiyatul Masjid is now being delayed until after Tawaf. We call it Rak'atay Tawaf, the 2 rak'ats of Tawaf. So now, since we are starting with Tawaf, you can see Hajar al-Aswad. Look at it now. Dr. Salim is demonstrating now. That's black stone, Hajar al-Aswad. This stone you are seeing was brought from Jannah. The silver you are seeing there is a cover, but at that point where you see that is pointing out like an eye, that's where the Hajar al-Aswad is. But it has been covered with a silver cover so that people will not remove it from there. That is the reason. And if people are touching it, before you know it will go. Well, this Hajar al-Aswad was brought from Jannah. One of the items of Jannah in this world is this Hajar al-Aswad and the Rawda in Medina. Now the Messenger ﷺ said, when Ibrahim was building the Kaaba and he came to the end part of the building, it is only remained this corner of Hajar al-Aswad for him to put a building bricks that will fit in there. So he went looking for where to get this building bricks. There on Angel Jibril, Sayyidina Jibril brought this stone for him from Jannah. And the messenger said, نزل به جبريل وهو أبيض من الثلج إنما سوده ذنوب الناس. When Jibril alayhi salatu wasallam brought it down, it is whiter than the eyes. It is our sins that turn it to black. So now the name of that stone is Ibn Black Stone. It was a white stone, but the sins committed by the people is what turns it to black. That is to say, when you touch it, or you kiss it, or you point at it, all your sins will be left on that black stone. So this, where the Prophet Ibrahim put this black stone, that's where he started going around making the tawaf. Say, Rabbana taqabbal minna innaka anta samiul alim. ربنا وجعلنا مسلمين لك ومن ذريتنا أمة مسلمة لك وأرنا مناسكنا وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. So he made 7 cycles as commanded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we are starting our tawaf at Hajar al-Aswad corner. Now when you come to start tawaf, there are certain sunnah. There are 2 sunnah for only men. The sunnah number 1 is what is called an ittiba. That is exposing the right shoulder. bringing out the right shoulder and putting this garment, this white garment, under your armpit. As you can see from this man, that is what is called an ittiba. Yeah, and it's only for men, women are not included. The other sunnah is what we call extending your steps as you are moving. So it's also a sunnah. So now when you are about to start your tawaf, forget to mention that the talbiyah, we stop the talbiyah when we reach Makkah. But when we are coming out of the hotel going to Haram, we also start saying our talbiyah until when we reach Haram. If we enter, then we stop the talbiyah. Is it clear? So now, if you are starting the tawaf, you have three options. Option number one is to kiss Hajar al-Aswad with your lips without making any sound, which is not possible now. You cannot kiss Hajar al-Aswad at this time as I'm talking to you, because it requires, time. Even if you join the queue, it takes time. Some people spend hours and they will not be able to do that. So if you have this, because of the congestion, you cannot kiss the Hajar al-Aswad. The second option is to use your hands and touch Hajar al-Aswad. After the hand touches the Hajar al-Aswad, then you kiss the hand because it touches the Hajar al-Aswad. And you say, Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. Where that is not possible, which may not be possible also, then you have the last option, which is the easiest one. The simplest one is pointing at Hajar al-Aswad. Just use your finger or your hand, point at Hajar al-Aswad just like you are going to touch it. Let's say, as you can see here, this is you can see the Hajar al-Aswad there where the police is standing. So now how do you go and say everyone among these people will now kiss the Hajar al-Aswad? It won't be possible. And touching won't be possible. Therefore, the Messenger ﷺ told the Sahaba that if you are not able to kiss the Hajar al-Aswad and you are not able to touch the Hajar al-Aswad, the easiest way is to point at Hajar al-Aswad. And you can point at something from any distance. So now when you are going to start just stay there, stand where you are, rightly looking at Hajar al-Aswad. Then use your hand and point at Hajar al-Aswad just like touching it. It's a mistake to use two hands. It's only one hand. You will see people using their two hands, even doing it more than one time, two times, three times. It's only once. You look at Hajar al-Aswad, you point at that corner and say, Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. From there, you have started the tawaf. But you will see people, they will be pointing at her with two hands, Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, Bismillah. This is jahiliyyah. This is ignorance. It's out of sunnah. The sunnah is only you point at Hajar al-Aswad just once, say Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, then you start your tawaf. As you are performing the tawaf, you are expected to hasten your walk, and that is ramlu for the men. Where the congestion is too high that you cannot even do that, remember it's a sunnah, and therefore there's nothing wrong with your tawaf. Even if you forget al-ittiba, removing the shoulder or exposing the shoulder, it doesn't affect your tawaf, but you have missed the reward for that sunnah. You get me right? So now, this, as you are going, you are starting your tawaf, you have started your tawaf, you can either recite Quran, make dua, salatul nabi, make dhikr, or anything that you think is beneficial to you. It's time that you submit yourself to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with total submission. That you come to His house, looking at this big house that millions and thousands and even billions of people went there, and millions of people want to go there, but you are chosen by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be there. So you will go around the Kaaba. When you reach Hijr Ismail, you can see Hijr Ismail there. That semicircle you are seeing there is the Hijr Ismail. Hijr Ismail is part of Kaaba. But during the lifetime of the Messenger, when he was 35 years, the impetus of Mecca renovated and rebuilt Kaaba because it was destroyed by the rain. So when they were rebuilding the Kaaba, they promised not to bring anything that is haram. They don't want any sin to do, they don't want Kaaba to do anything with haram. They said they should not bring any sin, any money of gambling or prostitution or riba or anything. But the money of halal that they could gather could not be enough to build the area of the Kaaba. So they said to themselves, let us build the area that our money can do and leave the fat and cycle it. And that is why this semicircle was there. So remember, you are going to put in the semicircle in your tawaf. You don't go in through the semicircle. As you are going, you come, you can see these four corners. This corner is called Rukun al-Iraqi, that is Iraq corner, because it is now pointing, it is looking at Iraq directly. If you follow there, direct takes you to Iraq. The other one is called Rukun al-Shami because it is looking at Sham, and the other one is called Rukun al-Yamani because it's looking at Yemen. So all these corners, you are not allowed to touch anything from them, with the exception of Rukun al-Yamani. That is the last corner before the starting point. When you come there, the sunnah of the Messenger والسلام, is for you to touch that corner and say Allahu Akbar. Not kissing, touching it and say Allahu Akbar. Where you are not able to touch it, just leave it and go. You don't even point at it. There is no need for you to point at that Rukun al-Yamani. Just go. In between this corner of Rukun al-Yamani to where you started your tawaf is where you are expected to say Rabbana Atina fid dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina adhaban nar. O Allah, grant us the good of this world and the good of the hereafter, and save us from the punishment of the fire. This is the all-encompassing dua given by the Messenger والسلام, and by Allah, Almighty Allah Himself. ومن الناس من يقول ربنا آتنا ومنهم من يقول ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار أولئك لهم نصيب مما كسبوا. That is Surah Al-Baqarah verse 202. So this dua is what you are expected to say between Rukun al-Yamani to Hajar al-Aswad. Now after reaching Hajar al-Aswad, you have now completed one cycle. You point at it also for the second time and say Allahu Akbar. Then you continue. That Bismillah will only be said once. So that there is no need to say Bismillah again. The Bismillah is only when you are starting the tawaf. So when you come back to this Hajar al-Aswad, just point at it and say Allahu Akbar. Then you go around like you did in the first round. When you reach Rukun al-Yamani, if you have the chance to touch it and say Allahu Akbar, Pani'ima. If you don't have the chance to touch it, you just pass by that one and say Rabbana Atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina adhaban nar, until when you reach Hajar al-Aswad, then you point at it. You will be making this up to 7 times. But the extending of your work is only for three cycles. Even if you are able to do the jogging, then you can only do it in 3 cycles. The remaining cycles you walk normally. So after completing the last round, that is the 7th round, you have now completed your tawaf. What remains for you is to pray 2 rakats behind Maqam Ibrahim. وَاتَّخِذُوا مِن مَقَامِ إِبْرَاهِيمَ مُصَلَّى. Allah says to His Messenger, you take a position behind Maqam Ibrahim to pray these 2 rakats that you are performing after tawaf, rakatay tawaf. You can see it there, people are performing it. But it does not mean that you must go closer to Maqam Ibrahim, because the crowd is too high. If you are going closer, you are going to disrupt the tawaf of other people. So you come back behind Maqam, far away from it, get a space and pray 2 rakats. In the first rakah you pray, you recite Qul Huwallahu Fatiha and Qul Ya Al-Kafirun. In the second rakah, Fatiha and Surah Al-Ikhlas, Qul Huwallahu Ahad. After terminating the prayer, then you supplicate. You ask Allah of anything that you need. Anything. There is no exception. And then after that, now you go and drink water, Zamzam. Zamzam water. The Messenger said, Ma'u Zamzama lima shuribala. The Zamzam water could be taken for any wish that you have. You want to be wealthy, you want promotion, you want health, you want this, you ask Allah and just take that Zamzam, inshallah, it will be granted to you. So this is Zamzam water. It's behind Maqam Ibrahim, it's everywhere. You can drink it from anywhere. So now you have completed the tawaf. But remember, the tawaf is like prayer. You have to maintain your ablution. When your ablution breaks in the 6th cycle, and if you renew the ablution, you must start from the beginning. So remember to eat whatever you think, don't eat whatever you think it's going to bring a problem for you. So after completing the tawaf, Now we go to the third pillar. Which one is it? Safa and Marwa. So Safa and Marwa, these are two historical mountains right from the time of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. And the history of Safa and Marwa, extended between Safa and Marwa, came from Ibrahim and his wife. That is Hajara, the mother of Ismail. When she was brought to Mecca at that place, and then the water finished and she was looking for water, for her child, water for her child to drink. He was crying. Then she went to climb on that mount of Safa to see if he could see anybody that can help her with water. She couldn't see anybody. She came down and hastened to Marwa. She couldn't see anybody until when she met that 7 times. So Allah put it in our ibadah. Inna Safa wal Marwata min sha'airillah. Certainly the Mount Safa and Marwa are among the symbols of ibadah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when you come to Yeti faman hajj aw tamara fala junaha alayhi an yatawafa bihima. Whosoever performs hajj or umrah should perform sa'i between Safa and Marwa. So now we are starting with Safa. As you are about to climb on Safa, if you know how to recite this verse 158 of Surah Al-Baqarah, you recite it. Inna Safa wal Marwata min sha'airillahi faman hajja al-bayta aw i'tamara fala junaha alayhi an yatawafa bihima wa man tadawwa khairan fa inna Allaha shakirun alim. This verse is only recited once when you are going to climb on Mount Safa. That's only one time. So when you are on top of Safa, you have already climbed Mount Safa. Now you face the Qibla, the Kaaba. As you are facing from Safa, if you are facing the Qibla, is directly looking at Hajar al-Aswad. But now, because of the crowd, before this time, after you finish your tawaf, you can go directly to Safa. But now you have to follow a wall that will take you, because of the crowd, it will now lead you to where you are going to climb on Safa. So you go there, after climbing the Safa, you look at Kaaba. You face the Qibla and say Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. And you say La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu lahul mulku wa lahul hamdu wa huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir. La ilaha illallah wahda anjaza wa'ada wa nasara abda wa hazama al-ahzaba wahda. This prayer, inshallah, is everywhere. You can either copy it, you can copy the transliteration or the Arabic text or even the translation, or you memorize it. Now this is what you are going to say. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, walillahi alhamdu. La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu lahul mulku wa lahul hamdu huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir. La ilaha illallah anjaza wa'ada wa nasara abda wa hazama al-ahzaba wahda. This is a prayer that you are going to say on top of Safa. After you finish this one, then you supplicate. Raise your hands and supplicate. Any prayer said on this Mount of Safa is automatically accepted. Then you come down from Safa, moving towards Marwa. As you are going towards Marwa, there is a green light that crosses the road. That goes this way. From the beginning of that green light to the end, the men are expected to jog, to hasten their walk. But the women, they are not going to do the jogging. They will remain calmly and be walking as normal. You can see the 2 green lights is from this to that. That's where the men are expected to hasten their walk. By doing so, they are imitating Hajara. When she came to that valley, she also, ran or she joggled in order to catch up with the Marwa. So now after passing that light, then you continue walking normally. When you reach Mount Marwa, you are not going to recite that verse. That verse only once, like I said. But when you reach Marwa, then you also face the Qibla and say Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Lillahi alhamdu. La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu lahul mulku wa lahul hamdu wa ala yuhyi wa yumiitu wa ala kulli shay'in qadir. La ilaha illallah wahda anjaza wa'ada wa nasara abda wa hazama al-ahzaba wahda. So you say the same this prayer that you have said on top of Safa, you say it on top of Marwa and supplicate. Anything that you need to ask Allah, you can ask on that Marwa is also, and that Marwa is also automatically accepted. So now, if you are doing Safa and Marwa, it's not like Tawaf. You know, Tawaf is when you come back to the starting point that you make one cycle. But in case of Safa and Marwa, if you leave Safa, you go to Marwa, that is one. From Marwa coming back to Safa, that is second cycle. From Safa going back to Marwa, 3. When you come back from Marwa to Safa, 4. From Safa to Marwa, 5. From Marwa to Safa, 6. And from Safa to Marwa, 7. So you are starting with Safa and you are finishing with Marwa. If you see yourself finishing at Safa, it's either there is oxidation or reduction. So if you are doubting during the course of your Safa, if you have doubts regarding the number of laps that you have completed or not, you should take the lowest number. You are thinking whether it is 6 or 5, then take 5 and complete the remaining. If you are thinking of 6 or 7, you take 6 and complete the remaining 7. So after you have completed this Sa'i, Safa and Marwa, your Umrah is completed. You have finished all the pillars of Umrah. What remains for you is to shave your head or skin your head. Now it depends on either you trim your head like you can see on the scissors here, or you shave it like the one you are seeing on top there. Any one that is done is acceptable but that shaving is more rewardable than the trimming. So anyone that you want to do, you can do it, is also acceptable. From this you have completed your Umrah. Alhamdulillah, we can say may Allah accept our Umrah from here. Now maybe the next one is about what we are going to see of the historical the history of Islam. Now pre-Islamic era, it started from 570 AD. The Messenger ﷺ was born in Mecca from the family of Quraysh, to be precisely from the family of Banu Hashim. Banu Hashim are from Quraysh tribe. The Quraysh are the most famous tribe in Mecca then, and at the same time, from among the Quraysh family, tribes, then the family of Banu Hashim are the most famous. That's where the Messenger ﷺ originated from. So he was born 570 AD. That is after the death of Jesus, according to the history. Now, after that Muhammad was born, he grew up in Mecca. His father died before he was born, and then his mother gave birth to him. After giving birth to him, Halima Sa'adiyah from the villages around Mecca, the Arabs used to take their children outside in order to learn the pure language and to learn how to be courageous, how to be braves, not like our children in the city. So now Halima Sa'adiyah was lucky to have taken Muhammad to her home, and she saw the blessings there, and that was why after 2 years of winning him, she came back to ask for a favor, that she wants add more 2 years. So another 2 years was also given to her. So at the age of 4, there was an incident that happened. He used to go and he used to rear animals. He was rearing the animals of Halima Sa'adiyah with her own child, and then they went together. They saw 2 people wearing white clothes. They called Muhammad, and they took him, put him down, and they used knife to open his chest. That boy was frightened, and he went back and he told Halima Sa'adiyah what happened. When she came back, she met Muhammad. She was asking what happened to him, because after the operation, and these 2 people were 2 angels that came and removed the part that belongs to the Satan in his heart. And that's why the messenger has no anything to do with Satan. He has no part in the heart of the messenger ﷺ. So now, when she went back home, she said, let me return this boy to his family before something bad happened to him. So she returned him to his mother at the age of 4. Then after 2 years, that is at the age of 6, his mother also went to Medina to pay a visit to the grave of his father, because his father died in Medina. They were connected, they were related with Halima Sa'adiyah. They are like cousin siblings. So now she went there in Medina. She went there with Prophet Muhammad ﷺ with her female slave, Suwaibatul Aslamiyah. So they went to visit the grave of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. After they visited the grave, on their way back, she was afflicted by a stomach ache and she died on the road. So now Suwaibatul Aslamiyah brought him back to his grandfather. His grandfather Abdul Muttalib took care of him, and then after taking care of him, after 2 years, his grandfather also died. So now Prophet Muhammad became fatherless, motherless, grandfatherless. No father, no mother, no grandfather. So Abu Talib, that is the father of Sayyidina Ali, now took care of Muhammad alayhi salatu wasallam. He was a poor man who is a trader. He used to wait until the caravans came. They will just borrow him some little items or some little commodity he sells and make his profit and return back the money to them. But after taking Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasallam, his business booms. And before you know, he started becoming one of the biggest people in as far as trading is concerned. So he used to go to Syria to buy things. When Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was 12 years, that is 4 years after the death of his grandfather, Abu Talib took him to Syria in order to go for business transaction. On their way, they met one of the Jews, one of the people, a Jew. He saw the sign of prophethood on his face because the cloud was covering Muhammad wherever he was. And there is a sign of Prophet Muhammad on his shoulder. So when he saw him, he invited them for a food. And he was trying to ask of the boy, how are you related with this boy? He said, it's my son. He said, well, I advise you not to be bringing him into this area of Syria, because if the Jews become aware of him, they are going to kill him. They used to kill the Prophet of Allah. So from then, Prophet Muhammad had never gone back to Syria until when he reaches the age of 40. So that's when he was invited by Khadija bint Khuwaylid to join her caravans because of his aman. She was looking for someone who is trustworthy, and she has gotten one, and that is Prophet Muhammad. And when they went with the caravans to Syria to sell the commodities, in fact, the Prophet was in multiples. They came back, and her boy was telling her about the characters of Muhammad and how famous he has become in that journey. So she fell in love with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and she decided to ask his uncle if he would. She offered for him if he would marry her. And eventually Prophet Muhammad agreed, and he married her. And at the age of that 25. At the age of 25, he married Khadija. Khadija was older than him at the age of 40. So there's an interval of about 15 years between his age and her age. But they gave birth to all his children with the exception of Ibrahim. She gave birth to Qasim the first one, and he died. She gave birth to Abdullah, he died. She gave birth to Zainab, she lived. Ruqayya, Kulsum, and Fatima. These 6 children. Now, all the male children died, with the exception of the female children. They lived up to the prophethood. At the age of 40, he started spending the time for meditation. He used to leave Mecca because of the idols he used to see. He doesn't want to see the idols. So he used to move away out of Mecca to go to Hira, that's Jabal al-Nur, cave of Hira, which inshallah we are going to visit this area when we go to Mecca, inshallah Rabbul Alameen. So in this cave, you remain there meditating, thinking of how powerful Allah is. Whenever he sees an ant, he will be following this ant, thinking and meditating of how Allah created this ant, where was he getting food. Before Allah sent down a revelation to him through Angel Jibreel, he came and when he came to the grave and to the cave, he said to Iqra. He said, Ma ana biqari, I don't know how to read. He said, read. He said, I don't know how to read. He said, read. I don't know how to read. Then he said, Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaqa al-insana min alaq. 5 verses of Surah Al-Alaq was revealed to him. So the Messenger alayhi salatu wasalam was frightened, and therefore he came back home shivering. His wife Nana Khadija said to him, what happened to you? He said, this is what I saw in my in the cave of Hira. Zallumini, Zallumini, cover me, cover me. She covers him. Before you know, Angel Jibril came with another revelation. Ya ayyuhal muzammil qumil layla illa qalila. So he was now chosen as a prophet. Now he said, I'm still seeing that man that I saw in the grave. She said, this is worrisome. Let's go to my uncle. Her uncle has become a Christian, though he's an Arab, but he has become a Christian by time. So she went there and told him, my uncle, this is what my husband has seen in the cave of Hira, and he saw it as even after he came back home. He said, this is the kind of angel that was sent to Prophet Musa. And how I wish I would be alive to help you when the people are going to chase you out of Mecca. Prophet Muhammad was surprised. Am I going to be chased out of Mecca? He said, yes. You will be chased out of Mecca. Yes, your people are going to reject you. So he said, if I would be alive, I will help you. But he came back, he said, Allah al-Musta'an, Allah will help me. Now, when he came back home, he was covered. Another revelation came. Ya ayyuhal muddathir, qum fa'anzir, wa rabbaka fakabbir, wa thiyabaka fatahhir, wa rujza fahjur, wa la tamnun tastakthir, wa la rabbika fasbir. O you who covered himself, O you the covered one, stand up, go and start preaching. So he told her, I've been asked to start preaching. Where am I going to start preaching? Then Allah sent a revelation again. وَأَنذِرْ أَشِيرَتَكَ الْأَقْرَبِينَ. You give warning to your close relation. So he started with Khadija, that Allah has chosen me as a messenger. She accepted Islam. He went to honor his friend Abu Bakr. Abu Bakr accepted Islam. From there, he went and climbed Mount Safa, and he invited people. I told them, if I should tell you that there is a group of people, soldiers behind this mountain coming to fight you, will you believe in me? They said yes. He said, why? Because they said, because we know you are trusted. You are trustworthy. You have not been telling us, you have not been telling our lies. You have never lied to us. So he said, I am nothing but a warner to you before the coming of the punishment of Allah. Accept Allah as your creator. They said, Tabbalaka ya man. Is it because of that you assemble us here? That the speaker, the person who said there was his uncle Abu Lahab. Abu Lahab was his uncle. The same father, the same mother of the father of Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. He said, Tabbalaka ya Muhammad. Woe unto you, O Muhammad. Perish unto you. Then Allah sent down another revelation, Tabbal yada Abi Lahab wa tabba ila akhir surah, to the end. Now he came back. That's how he continued calling people to Islam. And Abu Bakr was also assisting him. Usman accepted Islam. Abdurrahman bin Auf accepted Islam. Very few people up to the Islam of Bilal. Bilal accepted Islam, and he was punished and persecuted by his people, by his masters, until when Abu Bakr bought him as a slave and freed him. So this is a summary of what happened, the birth of the messenger and his journey to prophethood. Now the Quraysh persecution became, intense. It became so high that they could not bear it. Now the messenger asked them to migrate to one of the neighboring countries, that is Habasha, the present Ethiopia. He said, I heard of a king, a monarch in Habasha. He was a just leader. He will never harm anyone. So you migrate to him. So the first batch of the Sahaba, about 25 of them, migrated to Medina under the leadership of Ja'far bin Abi Talib. They went to Habasha, and the Quraysh, when they had this, they sent a delegation to the king that he should not accept them. But when the king assembled them together, he asked them what is happening. They said, we are people in the ignorant period, Jahiliyyah period. We whine, we fornicate, we do this with it. Then Allah sent a messenger to us. And some of us accepted, and some of them refused to accept him. Then they read Surah Maryam for him, and he had the same story that was revealed in the Bible. So he accepted Islam, silently. He hid his Islam. Now that is the first hijrah. Now when the persecution was over again, was too much, now the Messenger ﷺ, in the 10th year of hijrah, some people came from Medina to perform Hajj. So he met them and he advertised Islam to them. He invited them, they accepted Islam. They go back to Medina. The next year, they came back with another group of people. In the 12th year, 13th year, that Hajj, they came with about 70 people that accepted Islam. And they promised Prophet Muhammad that he should come to Medina. They are going to provide him a home in Medina. That he's going there for political asylum. Before that, in the 5th year of Nubuwwah, of prophethood, when the persecution was too much, the prophet was not happy, so he decided to travel to Taif. That's why we say his hijrah to Taif. Now this Taif is about 68 or so kilometers away from Mecca. Now he went there, he migrated to Taif, he made a hijrah in order to take asylum. But before he went there, the people of Quraysh sent a delegation to tell the king of Taif that he should never believe in Prophet Muhammad. He's going to destroy his home. He's going to make his people to revolt. So when he came, some young men were gathered and they started stoning Prophet Muhammad والسلام, until when he started bleeding. Allah sent Jibril والسلام, with an angel of the mountains who is taking care of the mountain, that he should tell the angel whatever he wants. The angel told him, "Ya Muhammad, if you want, you see that Taif is in between mountains. I will bring the mountains together to destroy the whole people of Taif." He said, "No, I want this city, these people, at least to have one single person that will say La ilaha illallah in the future." And that's why they were saved. Prophet Muhammad والسلام, came back to Mecca. He continued until when he is asked to migrate to Medina. This is hijrah. So now migration to Medina. You know, the companions started migrating to Abyssinia. We mentioned it. Now migration to Medina, he asked them to migrate to Medina because of the people that accepted Islam and they promised him a home in Medina. So they started migrating to Medina without the messenger. Messenger will be at the last one. So he waited until when he received a command from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to migrate to Medina. So he migrated to Medina with his friend, that is Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. Since the day they are going to leave, when he informed Abu Bakr that had been given permission to migrate to Medina, Abu Bakr bought 2 camels with food and he sent them outside Mecca so that they can have something that will take them to Medina. In the night they have to move out of Medina and they started their migration. When the influence of Mecca heard about it, before the Prophet ﷺ went out of Mecca, they came and surrounded his house. He was inside. And they were waiting for him to come out so that they can kill him. This is what the Satan told them, that when they had a meeting, what do we do with Muhammad? The Satan told them, choose from each tribe a representative that they will come together and kill Muhammad ﷺ, so that the Quraysh family or the Banu Hashim cannot take revenge from all the family of these tribes. So that's what they did. As they were waiting for Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made them to sleep. And he came out. Allah said, وَجَعَلْنَا مِن بَيْنِ أَيْدِيهِمْ سَدًّا وَمِنْ خَلْفِهِمْ سَدًّا فَأَغْشَيْنَاهُمْ فَهُمْ لَا يُبْصِرُونَ. We covered them from both front and behind. They cannot see him. So he went out and they started the journey with Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. But when they woke up from their house sleeping, they looked inside, they couldn't see anybody but Sayyidina Ali, who was there to wait for them. And they went out and followed the footsteps of the camels of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. When they saw that they are going to catch with them, they leave the camels with someone who was rearing animals. Now Abu Bakr bought his time. He said, please take care of our camels, we will pay you. And Aman, how much are we going to pay you so that you don't tell these people that we are inside this cave? So they enter into cave of Thawb, where the Prophet ﷺ and Sayyidina Abu Bakr remained there for 3 days. It's only they will come down in the daytime, in the night they will come to this man and they'll collect milk from him, and Nana Asma will also bring food for them from the house of Abu Bakr. Until after 3 days, these inhabitants of Mecca tried all they could, they couldn't locate them. Even when they came to the cave, the Prophet was seeing them, and Abu Bakr was seeing the foot of the kafir who was standing there waiting for them. But Allah sent down spider, so the cobwebs was there. So they said no one can enter here without removing these cobwebs, and therefore nobody is inside. Allah said, "Illa tansuruhu faqad nasarallahu idha akhrajahu alladhina kafaru." This Mount of Thawr, inshallah, we are going to visit him in Makkah, inshallah, Rabbul Alamin. So this is what happened as far as migration to Medina is concerned. Then after they migrated to Medina, the inhabitants of Makkah gather money in order to fight Islam. Now, between Muslims and Kuffars, who started? Now, a person leaving you behind, he traveled all the way to about 470 kilometers, and you are now going to follow him there. What kind of nonsense is that? So they gathered money that they are going to fight the Muslim Ummah. This caravan that is going to be using this money for trading, as they were fasting, they have to fast through behind Medina. So when they were fasting, Allah sent out a revelation telling Prophet Muhammad that your wealth that you left in Mecca and the houses and those that migrated are leaving behind their wealth, Allah has given you permission, go and take this wealth to be a compensation of what you have left in Mecca. So they came out, but unfortunately, Abu Sufyan, who is leading the caravan, has already passed by Badr. That's where the meeting point was, the Badr. So now, since they were there, Abu Sufyan heard that the Prophet ﷺ and his companions came out to collect that money from them and that items from them. So he sent a message to people of Mecca. He said, you have to come out to defend your wealth because Prophet Muhammad is going to take it away from me. I heard that he came out. So now they assembled their young men, about 1,000 soldiers, with their camels, food, and women, and everything. They came out in order to fight and to defend their wealth. But Abu Sufyan made another plan. He said, okay, let me go for plan B. In case, if they are not able to come or they are late, let me take another way. So he changed a route where he was able to pass Prophet Muhammad and his companions from behind. And now those that came out from Mecca with their soldiers, they met Abu Sufyan. Abu Sufyan told them, since we have gotten ours back, let us go back to Mecca. But Abu Jahl said, no, wallahi, we must go and teach them a lesson. Why should they, people like me and you, Prophet Muhammad will still take something from us. We must go and teach them a lesson. And that's what brought up the Battle of Badr. That Battle of Badr, since they came, they said they are going to teach Muhammad and his companions lessons. And now Prophet Muhammad told the companions that Allah said we are going to fight these people. And they are not many, they are 313. And the kuffar are more than 1,000, which means they have doubled them 3 times. So now Allah sent his reinforcement from the angels, about 1,000 angels, to help Prophet Muhammad and his companions. And the battle was fought and they won. So they were victorious, killing about 70 among the famous people of Quraysh, and also they arrested about 70 of them. They captured 70 of them as captives. Now, this is what happened as far as Battle of Badr is concerned. Then coming to Uhud, which we are going to also see the Mount of Uhud. When the inhabitants of Mecca, because this one happened in the second year of Hijrah. In the 3rd year of Hijrah, the inhabitants of Mecca assembled, gathered another 3,000 people, army, in order to fight Medina. They came through Mount of Uhud. The Prophet ﷺ was only able to gather 1,000. So 1,000 against 3,000. And they were about to go to Uhud when the commandant of hypocrites, that's Abdullah ibn Abi Maktoum, the leader of hypocrites, brainwashed some of the hypocrites. He told them, why should you go and be killing yourself because of this new person that come to your home? So they decided to come back, about 300 of them, leaving only Prophet Muhammad with 700 people, 700 soldiers, against 3,000. So they were afraid. The Prophet said, there was no any messenger or prophet that came out to fight enemies and he goes back home. Even if I'm alone, I'm going to fight them. So he encouraged them. They went and fought Battle of Uhud. And in that battle, because of neglecting or disobeying the command of the messenger, because he told some people to stay here and they refused to stay, initially they were not victorious. They were defeated. But Allah in His infinite mercy gave them victory after. That was why about 72 people were killed during the Battle of Uhud, and we are going there to see their graveyard, inshallah. Hamza, Mus'ab bin Umar and other companions, about 72 of them, we are going to see them, inshallah, in Uhud. So this Battle of Uhud was fought in the third year of Hijrah. In the fourth year of Hijrah, another battle. They went and invited allied forces from different villages, even the Jews. So they came with 12,000 angels, 12,000 army, 12,000 strong men to fight them, to fight Muhammad. And Prophet Muhammad has no less than 3,000. Now, how are they going to fight 12,000? So he asked advice from the companions. Salman al-Farisi said, we in Farisa, that is Iran, when this kind of situation came to us, we used to go out from the side where the enemies are coming. We are going to dig a ditch so that they'll be falling inside and we'll be following them to kill them. And that's what gave us the Battle of Khandak. Khandak means ditch. So the Prophet went out and started digging the ditch, and from there the Battle of Khandak took place, though there was no battle, but Allah fought the battle by sending a strong wind that sent the kuffars away. From the Battle of Khandak, then some other battles were also for smaller battles, until the time for Umrah, that is in the 6th year of Hijrah. The Messenger ﷺ saw a dream that he was performing tawaf with his head shaved, and some of them were trimmed head, and he said to the companions, I had this dream, and therefore the dreams of the messenger is true. So they went out in the 6th year of Hijrah in order to perform Umrah, but they were stopped. They stopped at Hudaybiyah. Instead, the messenger sent a delegation, that is Usman bin Affan, to tell the Quraysh that we are not here to fight. We are here to perform Umrah, just to go back. So don't think that because we are 4,000, because there were 4,000 then, we are not here to fight but to perform Umrah. So the Quraysh of Mecca, after hearing this message from Usman, they said, we will never allow you to do that. You have to wait until next year. We don't allow you to come and perform Umrah. So the messenger has to go back. The 7th year, he was not able to come, and then until on the 8th year. On the 8th year of Hijrah, Allah gave him permission to go and rescue Mecca from the hands of the infidels of Mecca. So he came with a strong army of about 12,000. So in that battle, that is the conquest of Mecca. So the conquest of Mecca happened in the 8th year of Hijrah. The messenger and his companions entered Mecca, and the people were afraid. The people were terrified, and they started looking for where to hide themselves. So the messenger announced that whosoever entered Kaaba is saved. Whosoever entered house of Abu Sufyan is also saved. So Abu Sufyan, he was surprised. He said, what all that happened between me and Muhammad? Now not only me, even someone that entered my house is saved. This religion is really a true religion. So he came out with people and they accepted Islam. So after accepting Islam, now all the tribes of Mecca have now embraced Islam with the exception of 2 tribes. That is Khawazin and Banu Thaqib in Ta'if. So the messenger said, after that conquest of Mecca, I'm going to Ta'if in order to fight these 2 tribes. They must come to Islam or be jizya. Before you know, the message met them, and they decided to come out with all their families and their wealth. They came, and that's what is called Battle of Hunayn. Hunayn means a cavity. That is, if we are going to Ta'if, you will see how the place looked like. That's where the battle was fought. The messenger was underground because Ta'if was surrounded by mountains. So under the foot of the mountains, he was not aware that the people of Taif are already on top of the mountain. They started throwing arrows to them. So they decided to run away, but Allah bring them back and gave them victory at Hunayn. Inshallah, we are going to explain more when we read there. Then in the 9th year of Hijrah, the Hajj was not, since Makkah is now under Islamic empire, so now Abu Bakr Siddiq was meant to be the Amir al-Mu'minin. He led the pilgrims to that Hajj on that year. So he led the people to perform Hajj in the 9th year of Hijrah, because Messenger said you wouldn't like to see people naked. Doing tawaf naked, and therefore he sent Abu Bakr as Amir al-Hajj. And when Abu Bakr went, a revelation came of Surah At-Tawbah, Bara'atu min Allah wa Rasul ila alladhina ahadtum min al-mushrikeen, and Sayyidina Ali was sent to deliver this message. That is, from now to 4 months, every disbeliever, every infidel of Makkah must to leave, otherwise he accept Islam. And this message was sent to them, and everyone has to embrace Islam. And then the messenger came in the 10th year of Hijrah to perform his first and last Hajj, and that is called his farewell Hajj. In the farewell Hajj, he delivered a very important khutbah, which consists of everything that we needed as a ummah. After this is the only Hajj performed by the messenger, and it's called farewell because that was only the time some of the Sahaba came to see him, and from that time he has never lived again. It was about 80 days between his Hajj, the farewell Hajj, to his death. And this is, inshallah, what we have. The Prophet death happened on Monday after a brief illness that took him for about 3 days, and then he died on Monday and he was buried on Wednesday. And this is just a short summary of what we are going to see in this Umrah, inshallah Rabbul Alameen. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept all our good deeds and forgive all our shortcomings and transgression. May Allah make it Umrah Maqboola. May Allah accept it from us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you very much, Malam, for the summary of what we hope to see, and we hope to have experience of the life of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Mine will not be much. Should we do practical now, or we do later?
Okay, we can. Yes, let's join the theory of the practical. So
okay. So we will just have a few demonstration of what we will be going through, especially in the Umrah part. The first thing for the male is wearing of the ihram, which has 2 clothes.
Yeah. So you can see. So, as you can see, these are the 2 white garments that is required only for men to perform Umrah. You are going to remove every clothes. I mean everything, even including underwear. No one should wear anything except this, except for a watch that is permissible, maybe an umbrella that is not touching your head, there may be any hearing aid, or maybe glass. All these are permissible. And this is the way you wrap this garment surround your waist. You can see it now. This is the white garment. If you are going to wear it, you have to open your legs, because if you wear it without opening your legs, actually it is going to make you uncomfortable when you are going to, when you are walking. So if the size is enough for you to, it goes back like this. You can see I'm taking the 2 parts, 2 side to back here. Then you tie it from back. You can see it here, because the size is enough for me. And they are of different sizes. You can buy small size, medium size, big size, even jumbo size. This for the, you can see now I can move my leg because I open it when I'm tightening it. The next one is this one. That is the one you are going to cover your shoulder this way. Remember, even the cuff will be removed, underwear and everything. This one, when you put it on your shoulder, you take this one above like this. And this is the state of ihram, wearing the ihram. As you can see me now, I have not yet declared the intention, but I have worn it after maybe shaving, after taking my ritual bath. Now, in the miqat, you can pray 2 rakats in the masjid, but in the hotel, you can pray them in your own room, if you wish to. After praying 2 rakats, Fatiha and Qul Ya Ayyuhal Kafirun first rakah, Fatiha and Qul Huwallahu Ahad second rakah. Why are these surahs more important and more significant? Is because they all contain about Tawheed. So Umrah is all about Tawheed. So after wearing this, now as we are going to the train station, we wait. The intention has to stay until when we reach the miqat. As the train is passing by miqat, an announcement is made that we have reached miqat, then we declare the intention. Labbaik Allahumma umratan, as I said earlier. And that is the intention to be declared loudly. Labbaik Allahumma umratan. And from there we continue chanting the slogan of Umrah. Labbaik Allahumma labbaik, labbaik la sharika laka labbaik, innal hamda wa ni'mata laka wal mulk, until when we reach Makkah. We mentioned that when we reach Makkah, then we stop Talbiyah. When we go to our hotels, we keep our luggages, then we renew our ablution, then we come out for the second pillar of Umrah. Remember, we said there are restrictions, things that are prohibited after declaring the intention. Cutting the fingernails, shaving, applying perfume, having an affair with family, touching your wife, or anything like that. So all these are we have to be careful as we have entered the state of ihram. So we said we are going to enter haram with our right leg, saying Bismillahi, as-salatu was-salamu ala Rasulillah, Allahumma ghafir li dhunubi waftah li abwaab rahmatik. The normal prayer that we used to say, but there is no nafila. So now after entering the Masjid al-Haram, now we go directly to our Kaaba. Let's say this table is like the Kaaba here. So the Hajar al-Aswad is on this corner. As we mentioned earlier, that's where the starting point of Tawaf is. Now, if you are to start Tawaf, it is sunnah for the men to expose their shoulder like this. Putting under your shoulder, under your armpit, you put this one down. Then you put it on the left shoulder. This is what we call al-ittiba, exposing your shoulder. Now you are starting Tawaf. We said kissing the Hajar al-Aswad will not be possible. Touching the Hajar al-Aswad may not be possible. So the only simpler way is for you to point at Hajar al-Aswad. Bismillahi Allahu Akbar. Then you start your Tawaf. If you can hasten your walk, alhamdulillah. If you cannot, just walk normally. With the women there, we go around, we pass by the second corner, that is Rukun al-Iraqi, the corner that's looking at Iraq. We pass by Hijr Ismail, then we go to Rukun al-Shami, that is the corner that's looking at Sham, and then we come back to this corner, which is the last corner before the starting point. This called Rukun al-Yamani, that is the corner that is looking at Yemen. At this corner, the sunnah is for you to touch this Rukun al-Yamani and say Allahu Akbar. No kissing, nothing. Then if you cannot touch it, you just pass by it, no pointing. Between here to the starting point, say Rabbana atina fid dunya hasana wa fil akhirati hasana wa qina adhaban nar. But the other places you can say any prayer, you can read Quran, you can also say Talatun Nabi, you can even talk to someone, but talk responsibly. The Messenger said, "At-tawafu kas-salat illa annahu uhilla fihi al-kalam." Tawaf is like prayer, except that talking is permissible during tawaf, not permissible in prayer. So when you come back here, you have completed the first round. You point at it for the second time, Allahu Akbar. You go round, you did the same, Allahu Akbar, that's 3 rounds, Allahu Akbar 4, then Allahu Akbar 5, Allahu Akbar 6, Allahu Akbar, you have finished now. You have completed. Then from there, Maqam Ibrahim is on this side. This is where the door of the Kaaba is. As you can see, we saw it there. Then you go behind Maqam Ibrahim, pray 2 rakats, and then remember, after you complete your tawaf, after you have completed your tawaf, There is no more exposure of the shoulder. Make sure after completing the tawaf, you cover your shoulder again. You don't cover your shoulder as you did from the beginning. So there is no need for you to expose your shoulder while performing the nafila at the Maqam Ibrahim. You finish 2 rakats, Fatiha and Qul Ya Ayyuhal Kafirun, the first rakah, Fatiha and Qul Huwallahu Ahad in the second rakah, then you supplicate. Then now you go for Safa and Marwa. After drinking Zamzam, you drink Zamzam and you go for Safa and Marwa. Let's say this is Safa, the Marwa is there. So now as you are headed to Safa, you read the verse, Inna Safa wal Marwata min sha'airillahi faman hajja al-bayta aw tamara fala junaha alayhi an yatawa bihima wa man tadawwa akhiran fa inna Allaha shakirun alim. After climbing the Safa, then you turn your face to face the Qibla. You say Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu. يحيي ويميت له لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد وهو يحيي ويميت على كل شيء قدير لا إله إلا الله وحده أنجز وعده ونصر عبده وهزم الأحزاب وحده. Then you raise your hands and supplicate. After supplicating, then you go down to Marwa. As you are going down to Marwa, there is a green light that is there. From the beginning of the green light to the end, the men are expected to hasten their walk by jogging. So when there is a green light, they continue moving, walking normally. When you go and climb on Marwa, the same thing, you face the Qibla. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah wa la sharika lahu lahu al-mulku wa lahu ala kulli shay'in qadir. La ilaha illallah wahda anjaza wa'ada wa nasara abda wa azama al-azab wahda. Raise your hands and supplicate. When you supplicate, then you come down from Marwa. Now you descend from Marwa to Safa. Remember we said from Safa to Marwa is 1. From Marwa to Safa 2. When you come to Safa, going to Marwa 3. Coming back to Safa 4. When you go back to Marwa 5. Coming back to Safa 6. Going back to Marwa 7. So these 7 cycles is finishing at Marwa. When you finish, that's the end of your Umrah. Then you go and shave your head or you trim your head. And for the women, they will just cut a little part of it, just like the fingernails here. Then they cut it, and that's the end of the Umrah. We have finished Umrah, inshallah. Then the other historical sites, we will visit them, inshallah. This is a short summary of how we are going to perform Umrah and how to wear this ihram. May Allah accept it from us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you very much, Malam, for the wonderful demonstration. So mine is not going to be much, inshallah. I'm just going to give like a brief summary of what we are going to expect and what we are going to do. The first one is in Medina. There's a place, as Malam explained, called Rauda, which is between the Holy Prophet's mimbar and his house, which Malam has already told us that Baina mimbari wa baiti Raudatun min riyadil Jannah. So it's part of Al-Jannah, just like the black stone is also coming from Al-Jannah. So it's recommended, but it's not a fard or it's not a farilla that you must go there and pray. Due to the number of people, and when COVID-19 came, as we all know, it brought out a lot of innovation. So the Saudi government now decided to develop an application whereby each and everyone will book and select a particular time, and then go at that very time that you select, and then go in there. I think they give a maximum of 20 to 30 minutes or so for you to pray, and then you go out, other people will now come in. Now from our plan, we all will be arriving, the people arriving in Medina, and the other group arriving from Jeddah. So we have Malam as one of them, and we have Nasir Badamasi and Hajia Salma, that's Muhammad's wife. So they are all coming from Jeddah. We have made all the necessary arrangement for pickup from the airport to the train station. So arriving is somewhere around 6 in the morning. So inshallah we make all the necessary provision to have a space at a time that we will be able to move from the airport to the terminal with the train station. So from the train station, It's like 2 hours to Medina. So roughly from all the calculations, inshallah, on the 24th, by Zuhur time, we will all be in Medina, both the ones coming from Medina and then the ones coming from Jeddah. So the other group coming from Medina is Alhaji Muhammad, Abdurrahman, and Senior Abdurrahman. That's our dad, Abdurrahman's dad. On arrival, inshallah, I will be on ground to receive each and every one of the group, and we plan to stay in Medina for up to 2 nights, that is 3 days. So our plan on arrival on 24th, we plan to start visiting all the relevant sites to visit, especially the ones close to Haram. There are a lot of visits and some little mosques also to visit. Now, I will recommend that we all download this application and configure it. We will need to enter our email address and then our visa number to be able to configure it. If you download it, it will guide you through. Enter your email address, your visa number. You will see 2 buttons. Either you are from GCC or you are from other countries. So we should select the one that says other, and then all the configurations will be as it comes. When we are able to configure it, then try as much as we can to start searching for a booking, preferably on the 25th, preferably in the night, maybe say 1 a.m. depending on what we see in the app. So anyone that you pick, inshallah, will be able to adjust our activities so that we all have the chance to visit. And now basically they allow you to visit only once in a year. So if you visit once until next year, if you are coming again before you can visit. That's that about Medina. Now we plan to leave Medina on Thursday 26th, inshallah, to arrive Mecca maybe around Maghrib. Now, due to the crowd in Mecca on Friday night, and maybe up to maybe Fajr prayer, a lot of people come to Mecca for Umrah and all. So a lot of the crowd on Friday is very much, especially in the night. So one of our target also is to be able to have a Friday prayer in Mecca. Thus, we are leaving on Thursday. So on arrival, if the crowd is much, we might delay our Umrah till somewhere around Fajr prayer. We might start after Fajr, and then inshallah by maybe 8-9 in the morning, people have reduced actually. Then we have free space. If we realize that the crowd is not much on arrival in Mecca, then we can proceed and perform our Umrah. Else, we might have to delay our Umrah a bit so that we have the crowd when the crowd is less. Now on Friday 27th, we plan to rest a bit in Mecca and then maybe begin our visitations of historical sites in Mecca. We intend to visit Jabal Nur and then Gar Thawb. Jabal Nur is the place that the Prophet ﷺ used to go for isolation or meditation, where Jibreel came to him. Then Gar Thawb is the one that the Prophet's migration to Medina, where he hid, right? When the kuffar were looking for him to prosecute him. Now on Saturday 28th, we intend to go around the sites of Hajj, which is Mina, Arfa, and then Muzdalifah in the daytime, just to have a visit and then have the experience of it, even if we have not performed Hajj. On Sunday 29th, we intend to rest, and then on Monday, on the 30th, we are planning to visit Taif. As Malam explained, in Taif as well, there are important sites to visit, which we will all visit, inshallah. Then on Tuesday 31st, we also have a rest in Mecca. Then on Wednesday, which is our final day in Mecca, we might also go to some visitations within the haram, maybe visit some expansion projects that are ongoing in haram, or Masjidul Jinn. There are also historical sites within the haram. That's on the 1st of January, and by then we should start preparing to come back on the 2nd of January, inshallah. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us, and may He makes us among the servants that will be able to perform this Umrah. So it's now open for questions and answer. I think we have spent almost 1 hour plus. So if there's any question, any comment, any clarification that is needed, the floor is open for interaction.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you, my brother, and also thank the Sheikh for his comprehensive explanation. I have just one question. During Sa'i, that the supplication at Safa and at Marwa, are you going to do it like at every cycle, or maybe first 1 or 2 or 3 cycles, or you can do that supplication at every point, or you reach from Safa to Marwa, back to Safa, back to Marwa 7 times?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You are expected to say this dua, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa la sharika lahu, to the end. Every time you climb on Safa and every time you climb on Marwa. But the private, the personal dua is on your own. If you like, you do it as long as you can. And as you are moving, also you are walking towards Marwa, you can supplicate also your own personal needs. But this one, sunnatically, every climbing, you say the dua.
Okay, yes, because my question is on the personal dua, actually.
Okay, personal dua.
Yes.
If you can do the personal dua anytime you want, either as you're walking or on top of Marwa, but it's not compulsory that you must make a supplication or your personal needs on Marwa or on Safa. But the one we have mentioned, that is the sunnah, you do it.
Okay, jazakallah khair.
Okay.
And one other question. Sorry, I might just one last question.
No.
After we finish the Umrah, at liberty, I can always come back to the Haram. Even though I had that, we are not allowed to come back to the Kaaba area. Maybe at the top one is at liberty to perform tawaf as many times as he wants.
Yes. Actually, you see,
exactly.
You can do tawaf at any time you want, except entering the mataf. That's where Kaaba is not permissible until unless when you have the ihram. And
yes.
by putting on ihram, it's a deception because of the crowd. They don't want people to go there without that haram because of the people that are performing Umrah. And by putting on the ihram, you are telling them you are doing Umrah and you are telling lies.
Yes.
So it's better you go up there. We have first floor, we have second floor, we have third floor.
Yes.
And it's even more convenient because there was no crowd there and the noise there is not much. You can recite Quran. You can do anything comfortably. But those that are performing Umrah is because they came, they were tired, and therefore they want to go and finish their Umrah on time. And if you go down, you finish it on time. More than the other one on top.
Jazakallah khair.
Jazakallah khair.
Amin ya Rabb.
Now, any observation or comments?
Any question, any comment? it seems we're all fine.
Are we together?
Just to confirm, we are communicating.
Yes, I think the lecture has been so comprehensive and it is well understood. And as we proceed on the journey, we will continue to ask questions where necessary.
Inshallah.
And we equally want to thank the presenter. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward him abundantly.
آمين يا
جزاك
رب.
الله خير.
آمين يا رب العالمين. تقبل الله منا وصالح الأعمال.
I believe there is no any other comment or any question.
I didn't hear from Bassam.
Bassam is an expert. I think he's not around there.
He's up, huh?
Yeah.
So,
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I apologize once again. It is the fault of Dr. Salimo.
Yeah, Salim is always, but
He's supposed to
helping
call you all
now.
the time to tell me, okay, great, this man. Thank you, but I used to
No,
tell you that.
inshallah, this time we'll meet.
Inshallah, inshallah. Jazakallah khairan.
so just
Allah, thank you very much for the presentation. It is well, يعني, formative and even me, I learned a lot now.
May Allah bless us all together. May Allah accept
Ameen,
it from us.
ameen.
when you are with Malan, you learn every day.
Yes, yes.
Alhamdulillah, we express our sincere gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for making this presentation, and we look forward to having more of this. And I believe even when we are there, we'll be having some intermittent lectures, inshallah, on maybe our activities if time permits. Some other tips and other important things are maybe for people that are on any medication. If you are traveling, please come with your prescription, especially on arrival in Saudi or before departure here. They might ask, and then they will ask for presentations, especially some medications that are like a daily affair for people. Also, due to the stress and the crowded nature of how it is, we should all try to maybe come with a face mask, cover our nose, and then come with an anti-malaria, because when there is stress, definitely for a Nigerian, malaria can beat you, and they don't have malaria there, so for you to get anti-malaria there, it's a whole task on its own. Now, one or two things I will add in terms of tawaf and all is there is always a green light at the top. So that green light is the one pointing to Hajar al-Aswad. So whenever you're confused or you don't know where you are, when you just look at the green light, you realize, okay, this is where I am. This is the distance I need to cover to go to Hajar al-Aswad, especially between Ruknul Yamani and Hajar al-Aswad, where we will be reciting Rabbana Atina. Sometimes you will pass the place, or before you reach the place, you will just remember. So whenever you see the green light, you know the next corner you're supposed to start reciting Rabbana Atina. Now, another important thing is one of the main purpose of doing this is we have like a comprehensive idea or a comprehensive view of what we are going to go through, especially on arrival in Mecca or during Tawaf. We can start together, but we might end up not seeing each other again due to the crowd and all. So it's very important that we take as much as we can so that we don't get confused, and then we start maybe asking questions and all, especially during Tawaf. It's very difficult for you to stay together. However, sometimes you can stay together, but in case one might miss the road and all, on arrival we'll check into the hotel, and inshallah the keys will be with each person, or we drop the key at the reception. So anybody that didn't come back together with us, when he is back to the hotel, the keys will be available for him to go into the room. Another thing is due to the nature of food, maybe if you have yaji, it's very important to go with. Even though inshallah we will try as much as we can to package some yaji to go with it, due to sometimes the nature of the food, you need to add maybe some spices and all. I think from this we are fine and we are okay. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the opportunity to be alive and go for this journey, inshallah. I'm not sure if Bassam has something to add, just as an AOB.
Yeah, I think you, Malam, have covered everything. Yes, for everybody, they shouldn't be worried. I mean, it's a journey, all of us in it. And for me, my contact is available, of course, and will be online 24 hours for any help. I'm based in Jeddah, but I'm available anytime, anywhere. No need to worry about anything. Everything is solvable, inshallah.
Okay, thank you very much. So we'll ask Malam to close the session for us, inshallah.
صلوا على النبي الكريم صلى الله عليه وسلم.
اللهم
صل
صل
على
وسلم
محمد وعلى ال محمد كما صليت وباركت على ابراهيم وعلى ال ابراهيم في العالمين انك حميد مجيد. اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت وعافنا فيمن عافيت وتولنا فيمن توليت وبارك لنا فيما اعطيت وقنا واصرف عنا شر ما قضيت فانك تقضي ولا يقضى عليك انه لا يذل من واليت ولا يعز من عليت تباركت ربنا وتعاليت. اللهم انا نسالك مرة لا رياء فيها ولا سمعة يا ارحم الراحمين يا رب العالمين. اللهم تقبل منا انك انت السميع العليم وتب علينا يا مولانا انك انت التواب الرحيم ولا حول ولا قوه الا بالله العلي العظيم. سبوح قدوس رب الملائكه والروح سبحان رب العزه عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين الحمد لله رب العالمين.
Thank you very much. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us.
sai da fa na zo zan fito.
Assalamu alaikum.
وعليكم السلام.
سوي واحد إن شاء الله. جزاك الله خير.
السلام عليكم. السلام عليكم.
Kelvin shine mutumi na da nake gaya muku.
Okay.
Kelvin, this is Malam.
He was the one that took that.
Yes, he was the one in charge.
Guy, God bless you, Islam.
We should keep communication, inshallah.
Inshallah. Jazakallah khair.
Thank you so much.
They go house, but I want do some editing. Yeah? Otherwise, not to they go house. But let me just stay and do one or two editing. This one, that's it. Where is it now? This is 12. 2.
on everything. I hope it was educative.
Yes. I think this is your one.
No. Are you sure?
Yes, I think it's your
Yes.
one.
Apa tak? Laki juga balik.
Inshallah.
Yaushe. Yanzu?
Apa?
Sai ba ka. Ya ba ka kai yanzu ko kana da wani abu important.
Na?
Ina da abin da nake so kai mai. Wallahi ina so ka zana wajen da.
Na?
Ina so ku da magana tana da wasu abubuwan zuwa da yana da. Shi ne a yanzu inda ka ce za ka kai su to kila sai ka fara kwana. Ka kai na da kuma shi na sai da dai yazo. Ko kuma in ka kai su final place kana iya wucewa ko su da wasu. Hello? Na? Ya kika ce wace Aisha ke jira? Na? Ka san papi?